David and Goliath, a story of courage. The sun rose slowly over the valley of Elah, spilling gold across the hills of Israel. Two armies stood facing one another, silent, tense, unmoving. On one hill stood the Israelites, led by King Saul. On the opposite hill stood the Philistines, fierce warriors dressed in heavy armor. Between them lay a wide valley of dust and stone. For 40 days no battle had begun, because every morning and every evening a giant stepped forward. His name was Goliath. He was over 9 feet tall, a mountain of a man. Bronze armor covered his chest like a shield of fire in the sun. A massive spear rested in his hand. The head of it alone weighed as much as a heavy hammer. His voice boomed across the valley like thunder. "Choose a man and send him down to fight me. If he wins, we will serve you. If I win, you will serve us." The Israelites trembled. Even King Saul, who stood head and shoulders above most men, felt small before Goliath. No soldier dared step forward. Every day the giant mocked them. Every day fear tightened its grip. A shepherd boy. Not far away, in the hills of Bethlehem, lived a young shepherd named David. David was the youngest son of Jesse. While his older brothers served in Saul's army, David stayed home tending sheep. He wasn't a warrior. He didn't wear armor. He carried only a shepherd's staff, a sling, and a pouch of smooth stones. But David had something else, something unseen. He had faith. When lions came after his sheep, David had fought them off. When a bear attacked, he defended his flock. And each time he believed it was the Lord who gave him strength. One day Jesse called David. "Take this grain and bread to your brothers. See how they are doing." So David rose early, left the sheep with another shepherd, and traveled to the battlefield. He arrived just as the armies were lining up for the day. Then he heard it, a roar. Goliath stepped forward again, laughing as he shouted his challenge. The Israelite soldiers shrank back in fear. David looked around, confused. "Who is this Philistine," he asked, "that he should defy the armies of the living God?" The men muttered, "Haven't you seen him? He's a giant. Anyone who fights him will surely die." David's eyes did not fill with fear. They filled with fire. Brought before the king. Word spread quickly. A boy is asking about fighting the giant. Soon David was brought before King Saul. Saul studied him. This was no soldier, no armor, no sword, just a young shepherd with steady eyes. "You are not able to fight this man," Saul said gently. "You are only a youth, and he has been a warrior from his youth." David answered respectfully but boldly, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came, I struck it down. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the bear will deliver me from this Philistine." Saul paused. Something in David's voice carried weight. Finally, the king nodded. "Go, and may the Lord be with you." Saul tried to dress David in armor, his own royal armor, but it was too heavy, too big. David shook his head. "I cannot go in these." He removed the armor and returned to what he knew, his shepherd's staff, his sling, and a pouch of smooth stones. The Goliath laughs. The valley fell silent as David walked down toward Goliath, a boy against a giant. Goliath stared in disbelief. Then he laughed, a cruel, echoing laugh. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" He cursed David and lifted his massive spear. "Come here, and I will give your flesh to the birds." But David did not stop walking. Then he called back across the valley, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." The Philistines scoffed. The Israelites held their breath. Goliath began to move forward, heavy steps shaking the earth. David ran, not away, toward him. The stone. In one smooth motion, David reached into his pouch, placed a stone in his sling, and began to whirl it over his head. The air hummed. The valley froze. He released. The stone flew like a flash of lightning. It struck Goliath square in the forehead. The giant staggered. Silence. Then the massive warrior fell face down into the dust with a thunderous crash. The ground shook. For a moment, no one moved. Then a shout erupted from the Israelite army. David ran forward, took Goliath's own sword, and defeated him completely. The Philistines, seeing their champion fallen, turned and fled. The Israelites surged forward in victory. A victory of faith. That day, Israel learned something powerful. Victory does not belong to the strongest, or the tallest, or the most heavily armed. Victory belongs to those who trust in God. David, the shepherd boy, would one day become king of Israel, but long before he wore a crown, he proved that courage rooted in faith is stronger than any giant. And the valley that once echoed with fear now rang with celebration, because one boy believed.